This is the GTFans M607. It's a 1/12 scale short course truck. I'm just in the middle of unboxing the thing. The reason I accepted this from BestBuyBoxes, and they sent that to me, was because it has a middle diff on a 1/12 scale brushless short course truck with a decent little charger as well. Didn't expect that. Decent little tools. What do we got? Oh, yep, another one of the FlySky radios. It's a decent little 2S and 3S balance charger. Doesn't appear to have a storage charge option on it, but never hurts to have. It's a nice little FlySky radio. This might be squarely on the Traxxas Mini Slash. Oh, they're 116, aren't they? 112. What an interesting scale. The radio is not one that we haven't seen before. It's a G4P, and I think I just saw BS written underneath, which means this is the latest G4P, which is a OEM radio only from FlySky. What I like about FlySky is they just routinely put nice wheels on there. This is a bit more of a stretchy reach for adults, I suppose. Stretch for kids, not for adults. Button 4 is there. Button 3 is a 3-position switch, so it's a 4-channel. Quite comfy, 1 or 2 hands, and as much as these can be annoying, these covers, it's easy to open, it's not fiddly, and if you get caught in a bit of a shower, you're not getting water going straight down onto the board underneath. Not waterproof, but certainly a little tolerant of a shower. 5 to 15 volt, which means you're going to want a USB PD charging. 3 amp max, there you go. Let's see what's in the box. Now they say it's a Hobbywing system, so it's a 3800 kV brushless motor. And a 45 amp Hobbywing ESC. I like the presentation on both of these actually. When you crack it out, it just looks good, doesn't it? These line drawings, they're quite cool. I've not opened this one yet. Ooh, mudguards. Ah, now this has been opened before. I wonder why. I did notice there were two layers of tape on the thing too. So a store, not the manufacturer, sent this to me, BestBuyBoxes. Gee, it's an unusually bendy body to have it flex like that straight away. It's got a cover on it, so you need to unscrew some stuff so that you can pull it off, because it'll be pretty underneath. There's apparently a carbon fiber base. This is something like $210, $220 US, I think, on their site. It's an interesting little machine. There we go. So we can mount all sorts of stuff on the body. So here's what I'm going to do. We'll pull these, and they're captured tabs, which is great. Body clips. It's got a separate piece for the interior. It's a polycarbonate driver, so it's actually quite nice. What I'm going to need to do is undo a couple of screws here so that this whole sheet can peel right off. I'll do that. We'll have a quick look at what's here. For some reason the battery's plugged in. That shouldn't be the case. That never should be the case. Is it at least off? Thankfully it's off. That's not great. Don't leave your models plugged in, boys and girls. And these. 2200 milliamp hour, 25C, and it is a 2S, I can tell without looking at the label, because it's got 2 balance plugs. So you've got ground or negative, and then you've got 1 positive wire for each cell. So if it had 4 wires, it would be a 3S, because you've got ground and cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. In this case it's just 3, cell 1 and cell 2, 2S, 2 cells basically. I will get this charging. Now, there is oil in the shocks. The rebound is fairly quick, but it's not, you'll notice, going back and forth. So that's nice to see. Oh, now you don't see this every day. This feels like it's been made like the LC Racing. I can't reach it at the moment. I've got timber behind me. This is nicely done. Have a look at the geometry on this. Everything's parallel. The axle, the steering link, even the A-arm is actually parallel. That's really nice. Side impact bars are actually really, really soft. That's what you want to see. Shock towers have good lateral strength. I can barely move them like that, but they twist nicely. Super, super pushy on the rear. The front kind of, but it's got this light bar that actually looks pretty nice. It's not just some cheap little slip. This is semi-premium. So what I'm seeing here is actually a reasonably premium car. Tyres are glued, there's foam inside. They're actually a fairly large wheel for this size. Yeah, it was bigger, 76 mil. 76 mil wheels on a 1/12 scale. You know, this is going to go like the clappers. This is going to go really well. It's nicely assembled too. Now, they're little tiny screws, 1.5 mil hex screws by the look of them. And a lot of them are into plastic, so they're going to be something you can tighten. Battery, simply, you plug this in first, then you plug the balance cable in and then let it go. I've just unscrewed a bunch of stuff. Now, it comes with some nice little Allen tools, like they're better than the little bent thing. But all the screws in the body are Phillips head, so I haven't got that. So yeah, but look, on the body they're all Allens. I just turned the camera back on so you could see this, because I figured, you know, you wouldn't want to miss it. I didn't want you to miss it. Much more shiny. Now it comes with a sheet that shows you where to put all the stickers. You almost never see that. Very, very much like that. I just spoke for 10 minutes, but the camera wasn't recording. Right. Stickers have been applied, and it came up looking pretty nice. I did have a bit of trouble getting the screws in on these skids. They're not very deep screws, so these could fly off, but oh well, they're on for now. I loved having a sticker sheet telling me where to put stuff. That was wonderful. One thing I did notice is that this has a little lip here, little flappy lip, and it sits on the body kind of in front of the bumper. This is the same as the low-C tenacity, and this lasted one bash session, because 1 or 2 nose landings like that, and it just rips this bit straight out. Tape it before you drive it the first time if you care. It's probably not going to last even with tape, but it will last a bit longer, so be aware of that. Let's get to the main event here. 3.35 kilo metal servo, 45 amp Hobbywing ESC, 3800 kV brushless motor, that's nice. Metal oil-filled shocks and rubber tires, and they're 78 mils like we measured before. Central differential, and it's got a picture of a diff, 2 outdrives there, main ring gear, and that's a diff. Says the center diff. What I did before, here's a reenactment, dramatic reenactment, and then my face went like this. If this had a center diff, it wouldn't be able to do that. What you'd see is this. Or you'd hear the motor turning at least. There's no center diff in this. It says it on the box. I accepted this car after looking at the specs and seeing center diff, you beauty. Doesn't have one. What a bummer. I looked in the manual. Well, look again. Only took a sec. It's a nice little manual. And it's a fabulous layout of manuals too. The documentation for this car, absolutely top shelf. They've got a manual for everything, which is really nice. But yes, what I found in here was not a center diff, but a limited slip gear assembly, or as we just call it, a slipper assembly, or just a slipper. It's got the spur gear with some slipping discs, and then that little gear there is going into the rear diff. So there's no center diff, it's just a slipper. And I know this radio, it does not have a gyro, this receiver, which means we've got no gyro, no middle diff. This thing is going to be twitchy as all get out. Look, I'm a bit less enthused about this car now because that center diff would have made it so special. It made it to the box art. Maybe there's a variant of this car that does have a center diff, but it certainly doesn't have it here, which is a shame. That battery looks like it's charged. Great. I quite like that little charger. 2200 milliamp hours in a car this size with a battery like that. You only really want 2S. I wouldn't bother with 3S. It will take 3S, I'm pretty sure. But you'd probably want cooling on the motor, especially on the motor actually, and also on the ESC. So 2S will be its happy place. The other nice thing about this 2200 is that it doesn't weigh terribly much. So keeping a car light is actually really what you want to see. It's got these tools, they're nice little Allens. I don't think they're going to last terribly long, but some tools better than no tools. We did need a Phillips and it didn't come with that, so that would have been nice to include, but most people have access to them, so great. Quite a decent little wheel tool. It's got a little flange coming off the edge of that. I like this, it's nice in the hand. Turnbuckle spanner, you can adjust your steering link, your top link there, and at the back, so you can adjust your camber. Caster is set by the A-arms and there is no adjustment there. I see shielded. No, I see sealed bearings all around. That is brilliant. What's the difference between shielded and sealed bearings? Shielded, when you have bearings, they have the metal ring around it to keep the ball bearings in. That's shielded. Sealed is when it's got a rubber ring with a little bit of metal inside that as well. That makes it a little bit more water resistant. So this will last longer, not just in water, but in dusty environments where shielded bearings will just start to squeak pretty quickly. Sealed ones are better. Now it does have a sway bar front and rear. As you can see, it's extremely soft. It's not affecting the other one at all as far as I can tell. There you go. So you press it down a bit, now you see the difference. I'm not doing that. So load it a little bit. The back's even softer. I almost can't feel that. Look, this should be a fairly stable little thing. I do see a fairly narrow gauge wire on this 45 amp ESC, but these wires at this length at least should be okay. They're going to get warm. I would have liked to see a slightly heavier, what's this, 14 AWG? This will be like 16 or 18. A little bit small, but look, Hobbywing supplied it, so probably it's all right. I'll plug this filler in. It's actually restrained just fine with one Velcro strap, no problem there. Deet. That's 2 beeps for a 2S. Ooh, lovely fast servo. I miss having good eyes, I tell you what. Let's have a look at the endpoint here. There's a servo saver, I can feel it. Where is it? It's on the servo horn? Yeah, it's on the servo horn, not on the bell crank. That's fine. So we'd like to actually turn down the endpoint on that. See if we can do that here. Dual rate, steering dual rate. The bottom set, I've got to take a photo and show you. It's got a few different sets of buttons and switches and stuff. The ones at the top there are for reversing your channel. The middle buttons bind. There's a, I don't know what the green lead's for, to be honest, but there is a red lead. Steering trim, throttle trim, and steering dual rate. Now what the dual rate is here, dual rate means it's setting both the endpoints, not just one. So I'm going to steer it all the way and just knock it back a bit. I'm basically just trying to take off a little bit of extra steering so that the servo is not over pushed. Oh, this is nice too. Look at this. Radio box is held shut with just a little pin. And it's a BS receiver. So this new G4P is a BS capable thing. It's got a light kit on this receiver. I like this. This is the FSR4D BS. This is the receiver that you want to buy when you're trying to pair other receivers to your BS radio systems. It says PPX4, probably splash resistant. Don't submarine it. But that means this box doesn't have to be sealed, doesn't have to be watertight. It's quite a roomy receiver box too, I like that. Capture body pins, you're not going to lose them, and if you actually end up you've got a full set of spares, which is really nice to see. So I like the inclusions, I like the stickers, I like the power system, I like the servo. Body's not bad. Tires are enormous. If you want a lower top speed rather than the 60 kilometers an hour claimed max, you'll get better acceleration and definitely longer run times if you can stick like 65 to 72 mil outer diameter tires on this thing. 78 I think is probably a little big for this car. It certainly will give it the top speed. It's like another way of gearing the thing up, you know, but I think it is a bit large, a little bit tall. In any case, just going to make sure absolutely that there's no gyro. Okay, with the battery, 1.5 kilos. 3.2 pounds. All right, we've seen enough on the bench. Let's see what it's like on the dirt. Very first drive, let's have a quick feel of the thing. Nice and responsive. Very open diffs. And that speed I'd guess at being around 40k an hour probably, maybe 45. Well, that was a good trick. I'd be interested to see if the lip is already busted actually, because it landed on the nose. Let's see. Brand new car, very first landing. It's still intact for now, rightio. Okay, let's try something a little bit further out. Okay, now we're really going to stretch its legs. That was full speed. I'm just going to adjust the trim a shade. That's full speed. Suspension does a good job actually. Sway bars also, I would say, are working well. It doesn't want to roll easily, which is great. I've been a bit unkind to it then, and it still held its line. Brilliant. It's a little twitchy, but that's to be expected with like that just then. That would have kept straight with either a gyro, oh dear, with either a gyro or a middle diff. One thing that's nice about having these bigger wheels though is that you get good air authority. So I can, now I'm ready for it, I can use throttle to brake or accelerate in the air. There you go, I could pick the nose up then as it started to fall. Very good to see. And if we do some more cruel jumps, hang on, we'll come back up here. In fact, I'll show you from another angle. Okay. I'll try some more cruel jumps. Let's see here. It's actually just really easy to keep the thing straight, which is brilliant. That was a pretty heavy nose landing. Let's see what the polycarbonate looks like after 2 landings now on the nose. Still intact. No cracks yet. That's surprising actually. The bumper's taken most of it. Good. All right, let's see what it feels like down on yonder track. That's a plucky little thing. Lands nicely on its wheels. I'm actually pretty confident I'm not going to break it as well, which is nice to be able to say. It's nice and light. That 1.5 kilos means it's just not going to fall as heavily as some of those 2, 3, 4, 5 kilogram cars or bigger. And the larger wheels means it's also going to cope better with dirt, which is absolutely what you want with dirt and rocks and that kind of thing. All right, I'll just park you guys up here. All right, we're not going to spend a long time on the track. I know it gets a bit boring and tedious for some of you guys, but I just want to get a feel for it. Now that will have scraped the polycarbonate out for sure. Likes to land on its feet, doesn't it? It's nice knowing that the bearings are sealed as well, because dust here tends to kill bearings pretty quick. My bad, my bad. Oh, she's twitchy though. This is what you get with a slipper and no gyro. It's very much all the driver's skill or lack thereof. Nope, I can't even see the car. All right, let's try that. If this was a lower KV, I'd probably find the thing could... no, it's probably the right KV actually. I'm trying to work out what it is. Maybe it just needs more volts. And slightly smaller wheels. It certainly handles all these bumps just fine. Oh, yuck. That pulled the battery out. So look, I hit a stump I didn't mean to. I'm not used to just staring at the car. But the battery came out. Let's see what the car's looking like. I was just going to say I can't hear the fan, but then I remembered it doesn't have one. Body's still intact. I'm very glad to be wrong about that. Good. It's just so light. It's really nice. Body's completely intact actually. Heat. Oh yeah, motor's cooking. ESC is very hot too. But they're doing their job. Now remember, it's a 34-degree ambient, or maybe 33 at the moment. Could use an extra strap on the battery, I think, if it came out just from that, although it was a bit of a hit. I did have it tucked in snugly though. Ooh, got to keep that balance plug off the shaft there, it's kind of exposed. How's everything else looking? Tires are still all attached, no looseness. Shocks are shocking, no leaks. Yeah, that motor is quite warm though. Oh, so far so good. This thing's something around US $200, 210, 220, something like that. The Traxxas Mini Slash, the 116 Slash, I think is around $199. And having had several of them, and having had both of them catch on fire, but even if we assume that that didn't happen, my experience with this so far has been far superior to the Mini Slash experience, that is for sure. Well, okay, so far so good. If you're after a trophy truck or a short course truck, and you don't mind not having a gyro, this thing starts to make sense. What if you want to add a gyro? Well, you can get a separate unit for about 15 bucks, or you can change the radio system to something even cheap, like a Dumbo RC. They've got a gyro built in. One moment. Okay, look, bottom line, this thing is actually annoyingly upside down a lot. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say it's a competently executed package. Yeah, it is twitchy, right? We know this. This is a standard thing for this kind of car. Twitchy little thing, but it's peppy. It's nicely balanced. And if you account for the fact that my jump is awful, it handles things quite well. I think it's a nicely matched little power system it's got there. And 2S will be the sweet spot. You'll need a fan if you go to 3, I'd be very confident of that. We must have hit something. Oh, I can see there's a rock protruding. No damage yet. It's, I really thought this lip would be gone by now, but it's hanging in there just fine. This is taking the knocks, beautiful. Tyres are nicely balanced too. You don't see that on every car. Yeah, look, let's bash around a bit more in the backyard, hey? I think we've seen enough of the track. This video is brought to you by my channel members, the Scratch Build guys. Here they are. Thank you for your support, guys. I really appreciate it, as always. When you hit a jump like this, keep a little bit of throttle in reserve. Don't hit it at full speed, no matter how fast or slow your truck is. You want to have a little bit in reserve, so if you need to accelerate, like I did then, it's actually available. Otherwise you're going to nose faceplant if you're unlucky. I just can't believe this body's hanging in. It's really quite good. Should have gone for the forward flip, really. It's upside down a bit though, eh? It's certainly been competently designed. Oh, well, look, this is becoming a torture test. That was right on the roof on a big rock. And she's looking actually surprised. Oh no, we did. We lost we lost one of them. I thought I would too. These sliders are held in by just about 1.5 millimeters of screw on each one, so that's sucked from the get-go. And to be fair to this car, I'm also not treating it the way it's designed. Really my little course, or just doing laps with little jumps like that, that's really where this thing's at home. It's not made for sky-high moonshots. But I tell you what, it handles them, doesn't it? Oh man. So what do we think of this thing? Look, if you like the look of it, if you like its portability, certainly its lightweight nature. If you replace the screws under here with something a little bit stiffer, I think you'll have a better time with it. It's certainly well made, and despite the rolling over and the various crashes I'm doing, I'm not being particularly kind to it. I'm not actually trying very hard. I'm here to do a job, and that is to tell you guys about a car and to show you what it's like, whether that's being driven well or driven badly. And in fact, I think you might find the flaws if it's driven badly, which is a nice excuse for someone who can't drive particularly well with the fast stuff. I like the car overall. I wish it had a middle diff like was promised on the box. That's a disappointment to me. But otherwise, yeah, look, it is, as I say, competently made. I like the car. How's the value set for you? I don't know. There are certainly parts available. GT Land is the manufacturer, M607 is the model. There's a link down below. My thanks to BestBuyBoxes, the retailer, for supplying this for review at no cost. And it came with the caveat that I could say whatever I want, which is always the caveat. I reserve the right to say whatever I want about the car, basically. So if they don't like that, we don't do a review. Simple as that. But they were cool with it, so great. Look, whenever I see an all-in-one Hobbywing system, I know it's going to be something more of a builder's car rather than a nickel and dime thing, because they could have squeezed things and gotten more profit out of this company. They could have gone with like an OEM cheaper system, but they went with Hobbywing. So kudos for that. Kudos for the big wheels as well. Actually, you can fit smaller wheels. It's going to be a standard hex, whatever it is. It'll be in the manual. And it's, yeah, look, 78 mils is ambitiously large. You could go smaller and have better acceleration, just at the cost of top speed, really. Yeah, I'm quite a fan. And the servo's hung in there quite nicely as well. Decent little radio. All around, yeah, I like it. Is it worth 210, give or take, whatever the cost is? That's up to you. Tell me what you think in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll put a link below. It'll be an affiliate link, so I'll get a few bob if you buy one. Thanks for using that link if you do. No worries at all if you don't. Thanks for watching, guys. Throw me a like. And if you like short course trucks, trophy trucks, desert trucks, I am going to do, I think this will be the last car. Really. I mean, I know you guys will believe it when you see it, but I think we're ready. It's 24, 25, something like that. I've got them all here. I've kept them all so that I could do this. We're going to do a comparison. We'll find which car is best for you, and then I'll just outline a bunch of stuff. We're not going to say which car is the best because that's very subjective, but we'll certainly find some pros and cons for each, and we'll find maybe who it might suit, which car might suit which driver, something like that. Coming very soon, only on RC-TNT, and watch out, the shed's also coming. It's nearly here. It's a membership off YouTube with some interesting stuff, which I've been working pretty hard on that too. Thanks for watching. I said that. Throw me a like. I'm pretty sure I said that too. I'll catch you next time on RC-TNT. Cheers. I'm going to keep driving. I actually quite like this car. Yes! Oh, that was a good one.